Yeah, Johnson. Yeah, what's up, people? Yeah. Man, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? You know, yes. Shout out to my moderators, Buck Bewley, Black Mamba, and Ebony in the building. Tonight's show is dedicated to Buck Bewley. He's been going through it. Let's send him some well wishes. And in light of Buck Bewley going through the drama, I was thinking about something, fam, and I guess also because of Buck, but also because of Dave Chappelle. Yeah, I've been going through something because Dave Chappelle's in the news and people have been talking about him. And I mean, that's why they say you do not want to spend too much time watching comedians because it rubs off on you. It starts influencing you. You know, I started thinking about that skit. You know that skit Dave did, right? Where he did the thing with the LGBTQ in the car. The long ride skit. Remember that? Sticks and Stones. Yeah, man, I've been thinking about that. I don't know. I was thinking, how does it apply to now for us? And I came up with something, man. The long ride to nowhere. Yeah, it's got a ring to it. The long ride to nowhere. That's what I call black people riding with the Democratic Party. See, we're all in this fictitious car. Piece of shit, actually. Horrible vehicle. But that's because of now. Like back in the day, it was a good vehicle. When I think about it, when I envision it, I see this. I see this here. I see, this is what I see. It's about to be creative.
Next up with Tim Black.
Yeah, that's what I see. I see a 1982 Cutlass Supreme. Some of y'all weren't here in 1982, right? But this is my vision, man. This is what I see. Where we at here? We got to get over here. There we go. This is my vision, you know? Have your own vision if you think it's, you know, Z28. I don't know what you think. You think it's an old Honda Accord? No, my vision is my dad's 82 Cutlass Supreme. It was white, had a crack in the manifold. It was loud as hell. It would have set off car alarms, but we didn't have car alarms in the 80s. And this, to me, symbolizes the Democratic Party, their vehicle that's taken us nowhere. And it's been riding for 60 years. And black people still haven't gotten where we are trying to go. We still ain't nowhere near it, man. We still just in the car. We still in the car, you know what I'm saying? Going for this long ride, don't know where we going. No, we supposed to be going somewhere. And keep promising we gonna get somewhere. The promised land. Free ribs and barbecue chicken and greens not cooked in the tub. Corn on the cob. Gotta have your fish fry. Clyburn said we can't do it if we ain't got a fish fry. Gotta have fish. And hell, since this is my dream to nowhere, I'm the one directing this, man. You gotta have blue crabs. Yeah, you gotta have crabs with some Old Bay seasoning, baby. Gotta do it, baby. This is Maryland style. Maryland. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah, Black America is riding in the Cutlass Supreme, 1982 Cutlass Supreme, going nowhere. They told us we're going to the road to paradise. Equality. Now they change it. It's diversity and equity and inequality. Inequality. That's weird. Diversity, inequality. We're going somewhere. DEI, that's it. But I don't know, man. We just seem like we never gonna get there and we just staying in the car. And I said, damn, who's driving the car? Who's in the car with us? Who's taking Black America for this endless nowhere ride? Well, hell, I came up with some people. You might remember some of them. Well, actually, you do know them. Yeah, on this ride, long ride to nowhere. We all cooped up. We're in this car. We got a driver, and that driver's working for the Democratic Party. You know, and everybody who's navigating it works for the Democrats. So, driving the car is Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton, Reverend Al, making sure we get nowhere fast. Yeah, that's Al's job. Al's job, he's been driving since 1988, ever since he scammed us with Tawana Brawley. He's driving not for himself, but he's driving for the Democratic Party. That's what he's doing. He's a hired driver. The Democratic Party bosses give him, they're the ones that pay him. This time it was Kamala. Before it was Obama. They always make sure they put money in Al's pocket. I mean, they got to. He gives them, he's got to get gas. The cost of gas, he needs a lot of money. So, the Obama, Clintons, the Pelosi's, the Schumers, Soros, Bill Gates, whoever, somebody's got to. These are the people that run the show. Like, Al don't run the show. He's the help. Special interest groups, those organizations run by unscrupulous people like Neera Tanden. Oh, God. Just say the word. If you don't know who Neera Tanden is, consider yourself lucky. And Al, he keeps telling you, we almost there, we almost there, we almost there. And if you ask too many times, if you ask Al too many times where we going or why we ain't there yet, he call you an agent. He calls you an agent, tells you you're stupid or an agent or both. But he ain't gonna let you out. He locks the door, keeps you in the car. He has to keep you in the car because he gotta take you nowhere. That's right, you are getting it, fam. Every election cycle, Al revs up the engine and drives Black America nowhere. When someone asks the hard questions, he calls him an agent and locks the doors. Gotta love him. That's right, y'all. We're on the long ride to nowhere. And we also got a person riding shotgun. Riding shotgun is D.L. Hughley. Yeah, D.L. Hughley's riding shotgun, and his job is to do nothing else except control the radio. Yeah, he controls the radio, man. That's what he does. He plays whatever the Democratic Party wants him to play. Yeah. He's there to keep Al and the Democratic Party happy. That's his role. That's his focus. He just focuses on that. You want to hear this? Is this what we want to hear, boss? You okay, right? Want me to light your cigarette? Need me to shoot you with the Ozempic? All right, I got you. And he just keeps on. He's got that down, boy. Making sure the sounds of the Democratic Party are pumping through the speakers. Now, he might occasionally complain about, how long the ride's taking, because he's short. He got to get out and stretch his short legs. He gets mad. Sometimes he gets pissed off at that, you know what I'm saying? But he gets his mind right quickly because the money's right. Yeah, the money's right, so DL always falls right back in line. He always keeps some Democratic tunes playing. And he never, ever questions the driver because he knows the driver is getting his directions from the big brass. He ain't gonna go questioning the Democratic Party. Hell nah. He wants you to be asleep, foggy-eyed, goofy, and sitting in a Democratic Party long ride to nowhere vehicle. What I like to call the Shill Express. Yeah, the Shill Express. Also in this car wouldn't, you wouldn't have a road to nowhere, ride to nowhere if you didn't have a navigator. The navigator is Roland Martin. Yeah, Roland Martin, he's the navigator. He's the one making sure this ride goes nowhere. He's doing a damn good job, too, since 1995. Oh, man, he's been here to make sure people, Black America, stays in one spot. Nowhere. He's the man with the map. And you guess it, he keeps his map on his iPad. That's why he's always yelling, "Get my iPad, get my iPad, get my iPad. Get my iPad, get my iPad, get my iPad, get my iPad, iPad. Sometimes he'll be asleep. It won't even be election time. He'll wake up out of his sleep and just for no reason scream to the top of his lungs, "My iPad, my iPad." He'd be with his lady. He'd be like, "My iPad, my iPad." He has to get his iPad. Because on the iPad are not directions to where we're going. It's directions to nowhere. Now you can, boy. That's his job, to get us nowhere and be slow about it. He whips out that iPad, he checks the coordinates, and whenever we get too close to making it to our destination, what's our destination? Progress. Yeah, whenever Black America gets too close to progress, our senses veering off in the wrong direction. Well, Al does a good job, too. He makes sure we get lost. Now, you would think that's all we need for a perfect ride to nowhere. But Black America, the Democratic Party spares no expense. They want to make sure none of y'all get smart. Start looking out windows and seeing it. Damn, we ain't going nowhere. I've seen that liquor store 10 times. Why we keep going in circles? So they know eventually some of us gonna get curious, be nosy. So they put in Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg is the window defroster. Yeah, Whoopi, she has a very important role. Whenever the windows start getting too clear, whenever the windows get clear enough for us to see out the windows and to see the ride is taking way too long, then it should be acceptable. And whenever it gets close, seems like we're gonna realize we're lost. That's when Whoopi fogs up the windows. Yep, she fogs up the windows so we can't see a damn thing, y'all. That's when she goes on the View and makes it unwatchable. Get it? She goes on the View. Yeah, so she's in control to make sure the View is jacked up. Because if you could see, if you had a perfect view, you'd be like, "Hey, this car ain't going no damn way. Get me out this damn car." Yep, folks. It's the road to nowhere. Destination Black Progress. Estimated arrival time, never. So let's take a little time and I want to make sure that we all acquainted with our people here, man. We got people that are, like I said, if it wasn't for the people, man, in the car, we'd be in trouble. Democrats spare no expense. They got the best tokens anyone can buy. The best betrayers, the best backstabbers in the business, baby. Oh man, these people are perfect at what they do, fam. And their job, they know their job and they do their job right. Yeah. Just when you think they might change up, they go right back to doing what they do best. Keeping us lost. Keeping us going in circles. Keeping us confused. Al Sharpton.
Then you know that they paid agents. And if you're in the room, if you don't like me saying that, I'll say it again. Because you cannot get reparations without putting people in office that's going to pay them. So talk that ignorance somewhere else.
That's right. Al said, talk that ignorance somewhere else. Yeah, I got to get the version that doesn't have the echo. I might want to use this after this. See if we can get to Al. Where my boy Al at? Pretend that didn't happen.
Paid agents. And if you're in the room, if you don't like me saying that, I'll say it again. Because you cannot get reparations without putting people in office that's going to pay them. So talk that ignorance somewhere else. So either you paid or you stupid or both.
Yep. D.L. Hughley. Shotgun.
The truth of the matter is both parties have their flaws. There's no debate about that. One is literally trying to erase the other part. One don't want any blacks, browns, Asians, nobody. They just want a straight white thing. That ain't got nothing to do with it. And one is threatening to blow up the world. You had the president of the United States of America threatened to kill 92 million people, and we acting like that ain't nothing.
I'm going to call you punk ass some names. And what I'm saying is, all y'all so-called super black people, y'all really anti-black. You sorry assholes. It's amazing how y'all had a whole lot of shit to say. Where Kamala? Where Kamala? We don't see Kamala. Where Kamala? What's she doing? But y'all ain't got shit to say about J.D. Vance. In fact, J.D. Vance is dogging black folks. J.D. Vance still ain't been held accountable for the bullshit he said about Haitians in Springfield, Ohio.
Congressman Eric Swalwell just suspended his run for California governor over allegations of sexual assault. What about president? You start at the head.
Yeah.
And until you clear out the issues, they're going to stay. But I just feel like, as long as the head has all these issues, 55 people can come out and say they should drain this. But if you're not draining from the top, I don't know if people are going to take it seriously.
That's right, y'all. The Shill Express. I don't know what happened with the echoes, but the Shill Express is rolling. It's a road to nowhere, the long ride to nowhere. And these people are operatives of the Democratic Party, and their job is to keep Black America never getting to progress. And it's a funny little tongue-in-cheek thing, but I'm talking about it, It's a way to kind of express it in a funny way, but it's really not funny. It's really not a comedy at all. It's actually a horror film. Yeah. Real talk. This is a horror film, y'all. We got people that are betraying Black America. Have Black America stupefied, under a spell. Not just them. Remember, these people are just the cogs in the machine. Roland Martin don't run anything. If he ran something, he'd be working at CNN. And even if he worked at CNN, he wouldn't run anything. Ask Joy Reid. Ask Don Lemonhead. Now, he's just made a job doing it. That's how lucrative it is. It's even worse. Rolling's even worse than Joy Reid and Don Lemon. Well, until now that they're independent. For the last 15, 20 years, ever since he got fired for cheating, or helping Democrats cheat out Democrats, think about how bad you got to be to help a Democrat cheat another Democrat and then lose your coveted slot. Boy, I know he was playing a race card there. Boy, he was like, it got me out because I'm black. He put you in because you was black, Roland. That's why you there. Your arrogant attitude, I know, you know they would have hired a white guy over you if they could have. They needed you to whisper to the blacks. But just think about it, man. It's much worse because Roland, he been independently lying. He can't even say he was getting all this money from the Democrats. That's why he did it. He's been doing what he's been doing, misleading black America for so long on his own dime. He found a way to make money doing this misleadership from his own organization. Yeah, that's even worse than somebody who just, you know, who don't control anything, that just has a job. Now, Joy Reid and Don Lemon, now what they're doing is equatable. But before, they were just people trying to get work. And I'm not saying that these are the only people, man. There's a machine behind it. But if you are enterprising, you can develop your own shingle, and you can shill from your own platform. That's what Roland Martin's been doing. But even before there was a Roland Martin shilling, there was a Reverend Al Sharpton shilling. You know how bad you got to be an agent? A confessed agent. An agent on the books. It's common knowledge. He worked with the feds. And what does he do to a black man, a young black man who had the audacity to question the Democratic Party? And when the party leadership is doing for black Americans, he called that young man what he know he is, an agent. Think about the scruples of a person that would do that. Al knows he's an agent. He was even, when he realized he couldn't deny it, he was, yeah, I did. I was trying to help my community. I was trying to help when I was an agent. He was a literal agent. He calls a young man an agent for disagreeing with him. At the end of the day, that's all the young man had is disagreements, Melrose Radio. Melrose Radio was just speaking for all the black Americans, all of us who disagree with Reverend Al, with Roland Martin, with D.L. Hughley, with Whoopi Goldberg, with Jasmine Crockett, with Bakari Sellers, with Sonny Hostin, with the natives laying people in the Mark, even the Mark Lamont here is Mark's side. I'm not even gonna put Mark. I get disagreements with Mark Lamont here, but he is not Joy Reid. He is not Roland Martin. He made a decision. He didn't want to go there. He was there, but he decided he would stand on principle. And it cost him a job. I just wish people would cost their jobs, lose their jobs for us as opposed to losing them for other groups. But that's another conversation. This is not about that. So, I use a tongue-in-cheek way, a funny way, a humorous way to kind of make the medicine go down. But what I'm saying, it ain't funny at all, fam. It is damn sure a horror story. We got black Americans at each other's throats. Black Americans going after each other over a party that's telling you, a white party telling you another white party is the white party. And everybody got on white. Isn't that crazy? We got a white party telling you that that's the party of white people, and they're white people. It's crazy now. And you are a Sambo if you go with that white person over this white person. It don't even make sense. And that you should praise the sky above, the stars above, for having the ability to vote for this African white man and this Jamaican Indian woman. Somehow you mix that together and you get a brownish color. You don't vote for him, then you are a Sambo. You are Uncle Tom. That's how strong the medicine has been. That's how strong the mind control. That's why I say it's a horror story. I wish it was an action story. Because in action movies, we always got the opportunity as possible. The good guys could win, but I've never seen a horror movie where the victims really win. It's more like the Chainsaw Massacre. But the worst horror movie I ever saw was Jeepers Creepers. Those kids never had a chance, Johnson. Yeah. The Democratic Party is taking us to a long road to nowhere. And it's like anything else in America, it's very lucrative. Yeah, it's capitalistic in nature, it's based in profit and power. And it's so good at camouflaging itself. It wraps itself in all your pain and struggle. It uses all that against you. It knows where to attack you because it knows what your pains are. Yeah, I'm not convinced that there's one evil side of this. I believe there's two evil sides in this political dichotomy. And anyone trying to convince you that it's just one bad guy, one culprit. I mean, if you ain't figured it out by now, I mean, how many years will you be on one side of the equation, pointing over at the other side, and not realize, hey, in order for things to be this bad, this long, and this strong, it would have to take a concerted effort. I mean, they're playing ball back and forth. They're tossing the game back to each other. So we're on a long road to nowhere, and I'm just wondering if we're gonna wake up anytime soon. If we're gonna make them stop the car, we gotta take the car over. We have to at some point, we gotta take over the vehicle. We gotta stop it or jump out, tuck and roll. Because these people are not paid to take you to our destination called Black Progress. These people are paid to keep us on the road to nowhere. And that's the thing about a road to nowhere. It doesn't lead anywhere, and there's no end date. The estimated time of arrival is never. I wish it wasn't this way, but it is. I think some people don't believe me. They don't believe in the road to nowhere theory because, well, they want to believe that these people are good people. These people are doing their jobs. That's all they're doing, and they're looking out for the best interests of their families. Now, I don't never want to excuse the actions of people that betray the people. Never excuse that. Never give so much grace that you cut off your own nose and spite your face. Everyone makes a choice. They made their choices. Their choice is the system. Look what they just did. We just put out all this content. Someone said Tim Black, man, and I think they meant well. I just put out a video. It was a breakdown of my long-form live stream the other day. I think it was an important live stream. I wanted to put it out as a separate video. I put it out, and, we'll see how it does. We'll see how it goes. Some people saw it. I think one person saw it and said, Tim Black, we can't just keep talking about each other. Once you have a conversation, invite Roland Martin on your channel. Well, this person doesn't know. I did invite him on the channel. Of course I did. It's in the video. What's in the actual live stream? I didn't put it in the video. was already 52 minutes. I mean, most people are not going to sit for a 52-minute video. We'll see how far they get. But, yeah, the door's open to have a conversation with Roland because I really want to hear answers to why every time we talk about reparations, and don't get it twisted, like I've been very clear. I know he likes to say, that's all y'all want is reparations. What if you don't get them? Yeah, I understand that. There are people that advocate for children not be abducted, to end human trafficking. They may never end human trafficking, but yeah, it's a worthy cause, don't you think? Yeah, people can fight for worthy causes. But there are other causes I'm sure they care about, and for me, I care about other things as well as reparations. Because I'm a big picture guy. I don't put all my money in one bucket, but put it in different spots. So I got money out, I'm down for some jobs programs. I'm down for some trades for my high school kids. When I was in school, some of y'all remember, some of y'all old as me, Gen X, stand up. Some of us remember when we had shop. Some of us remember welding. I remember doing surveys. People on the road, like marking where you're going to do digging and where they're going to do type of landscaping and infrastructure. Yeah, survey with the little thing, with the you look through the thing, and yeah, man. Then we had classes of electricians, and of course there was vehicle maintenance and actual auto repair, masonry. These were subjects kids took at a school. I went to Bladensburg High School in Bladensburg, Maryland for a year and a half, and then I went to Northwestern in Hyattsville. And Bladensburg was a VOTEC, vocational technical school. I don't even think they really have those anymore. I mean, you could come out of that school and go right into a blue-collar job, but even if you could do that nowadays, it'd be hard to get a job because, well, see, we got these new people that came to the country and they're getting hired for those jobs. See, we start talking about that. See, I've been here. What they've successfully been able to do is they've been taking I've got, right now, for instance, guys, and I don't want to get off track, I got to say this. Right now, I have a professor, an academic, that teaches kids academia. From his books, all this stuff he read. Nothing he's done, but things he read, philosophy and thoughts, shit like that. And I'm not knocking philosophy and thoughts and higher learning, and that's great. But see, I'm a simple black man who went to a vocational tech school, 9th grade and part of 10th, and we had job training in high school. And my friends, some of them who were lucky enough to avoid the incarceration or the upper room, because we were in the crack era, some of them went into blue-collar work. And that saved their lives. That's what it did. Because they were able to make more than, minimum wage when they got into their field. After they left high school, they were able to go get jobs and raise families with that money, with those jobs, with that expertise that they nurtured in high school for free. See, this academic, he put out this video where they're calling me basically a sellout and a white nationalist because black Americans need those jobs, and I'm fighting against what I've seen, which is those jobs going away for us. And it takes a very diabolical, either a person that's totally with their heads in the clouds, knowing only 30% of black people even go to college, let alone graduate. It takes a certain type of obnoxious arrogance to tell a black man who went to school in an era where we used to do this shit for free, where young people went to school, public school, and learned a trade. And now those jobs are being outsourced in our own country to people that don't even speak English. And they're not just outsourcing black jobs, They're also outsourcing Latino American jobs and white American jobs and Asian American jobs because not everybody goes to college. And of the people that don't go to college, Black Americans represent the largest number. We're also the largest number of people that are not bilingual. So we got all types of issues, right? These things never come up in their debates and in their smearing. As they smear, they never include that stuff. See, that's part of the Democratic Party machine. You ain't got to be a Democrat to do the Democratic Party work. They can sit there and see 20 million people come in a 3-year period, and then I say, hey, that looks like that was intentional. And instead of blaming it all the administration that did that, they look at me and say, I'm a problem. See, yeah, you could be a sellout Democrat without being a sellout Democrat. It just takes you to be smart dumb. He could mean what he says. I don't know. Maybe he's not maybe he's not an operative. Well, maybe he is an operative without knowing it. Maybe it's just a person who just wrong, right? What I'm saying, the road to nowhere is not just Al Sharpton, Roland Martin, Whoopi Goldberg, Reverend Al. It's also the academic professors who tell the blue-collar, working-class blacks, and the few of us blue-collar, working-class blacks with a little bit of books who know enough, who are curious enough to look up shit, who are curious enough to do some research, figure shit out, figure things out, understand what's going on, and then are willing to forego all the shiny objects. Because you better believe all the shiny objects are available for those people that go along with the plan. There's no shiny objects for the guy talking against the machine. Nah, that's why so many people talk for the machine. Every time I turn around, I got somebody going, how much they pay you? Not as much as Roland. The people getting paid are the people you're listening to, goofy. You don't know how this works yet? You don't understand yet? No, they don't. And that's because of the people they listen to. They actually think we're the ones getting paid to mislead when they're listening and following the people that are being paid to mislead. Some of them are doing it without even being paid, with hopes of being paid. I've seen a lot of the channels pop up on TikTok over the last couple of years. There's a lot of black women joining that too. It's a lot of black men joining the right and doing a lot of misleading, right? It's a lot of black women joining the left and doing a lot of misleading. They said it with their whole chest. Oh, they said it with their whole chest. And it's working too, because, we're so matriarchal. We love our matriarchs. We love our sisters. So I'm just pointing out that when I say the road to nowhere, I don't want you to just think it's about villainizing these 4 people into the extreme. Nah, they deserve to be called out for what they are, but no. It ain't just them, man. We're dealing with the onslaught, the tidal wave of misleadership. That's what we're talking about. So the road to nowhere, the Shill Express. Man. I don't know, man. How do we get out the car, fam? Anybody got any ideas? I'm in the car, just like you in the car. We're all in the car. Get it? It's figurative. We're all in the car. Some of us are trying to signal to other people that occupy the car, we got to get out of this damn car. This car ain't going nowhere. Some of us get out the car and go jump in the Republican car. I don't know where that's going. It may be going nowhere, too. I don't know. But some people that do jump in that car are adventurous, and they say, hell, I'm already in this car. This car ain't been going nowhere. Let's see where this one goes. Let's hope they don't get run over by the car. I don't know what's going to happen to that car. But I know this car right here, if we can't take the keys, if we can't commandeer it, if we can't take the helm, if we don't start driving it, well, then hell, fam, you know, I think it's just going to keep going nowhere. It's going to keep refilling up as it drives. Every 4 years, they come by. It's got some great gas because every 4 years, right, a tanker pulls up by it. It never has to stop. It's like Road Warrior. Remember Road Warrior? They'd fill the gas tank with the gas tank on, with the car moving, like they do planes. Planes don't have to land. You can fill a plane, refill it in the air, right? That is true, right? I've seen it in movies. I don't know if it's true. I'm guessing. So yeah. But how do we get the car stopped? If you just jump out the car, which is fine, I jumped out the car. But the problem is me jumping out the car doesn't get all of Black America out of the car. So some of us have formed a mutiny to come back and get the rest of us out of the car. It's good people in that car. In fact, some of the boldest, most courageous, most pissed off people are people still in that car because once they figure it out, you think I'm bad. I ain't been donating to the Democratic Party for the last 30 years. It's going to be some pissed off brothers and sisters when they find out that car is going nowhere on purpose. When they find out really what's on Roland's iPad. Yeah, when they get a glimpse of that iPad and they realize what's on that iPad, what the destination really is, yeah, they're gonna be really upset. You think I'm a lot to handle. Wait till some sisters and brothers who've been donating and supporting the Road to Nowhere Mobile, the Shill Express. Wait till they wake up. DL thought he had problems when it looks like when he decided to get his head right with Kamala Harris, he thought he had problems then, a PR nightmare. He has nothing. He has no idea how much hell is going to rain down on him when the people wake up and realize he's been a misinformation peddler, that he has been a radio dialer. He has been the guy riding shotgun, controlling the tunes on the radio, misleading everybody. Yeah, DL's special because DL, he gave people the impression that, no, he was a misleader accidentally. But he was saying that Kamala wasn't good for the Black community. Oh, that was when he was making a mistake. And now that he's saying that she's great, now that he's saying you need to go vote for her, now he's thinking correctly. Now, you were right the first time. She a company person. She's doing what the company told her to do. That's all she ever going to do. That's all she said she would do. She's committed to the grift. She said it. She didn't say, hey, she's on The View and she has the opportunity. Reassess, fam, reassess. Kamala Harris was on The View. She's reaching millions of people. In that moment, with a softball question from a friend of hers who still praises her. Sunny Hostin is also a Shill. She works on The View next to Whoopi. And she asked her, what was something you would do differently than Joe Biden? And it don't take a rocket scientist to know that would be an idea that you have to differentiate yourself from the incumbent. And what'd she say? Did she say, oh, I'm going to be more responsive to Black America. I'm going to listen to Black America. She didn't even have to come up with a definitive thing. She just had to say, well, I hope to work closer with the Black community. But see, she don't mess with y'all like that. Regardless of what DL told you. Regardless of what Ricky Smiley told you. Regardless of what any of those Shills told you. Who keep the ride to nowhere, going nowhere, no matter what they told you. She didn't even think, she didn't even consider it. It's not like she had to say, I'm going to fix the economy because Joe Biden didn't know what the hell he was doing. I mean, she could have, but she didn't have to. She didn't have to say, oh, I'm going to put a man on the moon. I'm going to solve, I'm going to cure cancer. She had to say that as a black woman. If she was a black woman, all she'd have to say is, well, for black America, XYZ, I'm going to work closer with black institutions and with black working class people and come up with more solutions that really impacts their lives, that truly helps uplift them. You know, that soaring rhetoric shit. She didn't. Now, I want you to be serious. I want you to be honest. If I had an opportunity, what do you think? If I was given an opportunity, if someone put a camera in my face and said, Tim, what do you want to do? You don't think the words black Americans would come out my mouth? Because, see, that's what advocates do who advocate for you. They advocate for you. She's running for vice president. She's on The View, Johnson. Most watched TV show, daytime TV show in the last 20 years is The View. I know I got people that don't know that. They say things like, oh, why are you talking about it? It's irrelevant, because they don't watch it. It's the most watched daytime show and has been for the last 20 years. Yeah, Joy Reid. We had Joy Reid complaining about Stephen A. Smith calling her out about her ratings when her ratings weren't good, but her total viewer numbers were bigger than Stephen A. because Stephen A. has a sports show at 8 in the morning. Joy Reid had a news show at prime time at 8 p.m. Well, in that same vein, The View comes on during the day, and people don't have anything to compete against that, really. So it's the most watched daytime show. So back to it, Kamala Harris is on that show. She got a captive audience. It's a softball interview with somebody that wants to end. She's not going to follow up with some knee-buckling, knee-breaking, Nancy Kerrigan, knee-cracking, Tanya Harding, swipe across the knee type of response to a question. She ain't going to follow up. It's Sunny Hostin. She brought paid for. Democrats been had the receipt. And what Kamala come up with? Nothing. Oh, nothing. Nothing comes to mind. Yeah, you don't come to mind. You don't come to mind. You don't come to mind. When the opportunity came, your kids didn't come to mind. When the opportunity came, black women didn't come to mind. All this talk about Gaza. Well, Gaza wasn't a thing then, was it? Was it? October 7th? I can't remember when she went on there. Well, Ukraine didn't come to mind. She didn't say, hey, I'm going to try to end Ukraine. Nothing. Or all the other wars, all the other devastation, the people starving in Sudan. I mean, it's a lot been going on for a long period of time. Nothing came to mind. You mean to tell me I got brothers and sisters that I love? I love black people, man. I love us. Somebody got it. And it's not because y'all give me a lot of money. You don't. I just love you because you are me, and I am you. We deserve better than this shit. When she was given the opportunity on live TV, already vice president of the country, already been a senator, already been an attorney general, what'd she say? Oh, nothing. Sound a lot like Clyburn, but Clyburn had just given Joe Biden the nomination, just saved his political campaign. Just gave him the primary, essentially. I was in South Carolina when that happened. Would George Stephanopoulos ask Clyburn, hey, You just gave Biden the keys to the primary. He's going to go ahead and run for president now because of you. Did you have any requests or anything you want from him for it? Clyburn did the same thing. He didn't say, yeah, I got black people in South Carolina who just voted for him, who just gave him the nomination, essentially. I got them, and they want focus. They want the Olympics. They want reparations. Anything. He didn't even say they wanted a damn football field, a gymnasium, backpacks, free school lunch. This mofo said, I want something. He actually laughed. Oh, no, I don't want anything. He thought it was about him. Because it was. See, what you may not know is, was something that got lost in the recent the Reverend Al Capades in the No Action Network conference that just took place. Clyburn was there, and he was a guest of Reverend Al. Reverend Al, they were talking, and Reverend Al discussed how he endorsed Joe Biden. And at the time, he was thinking about endorsing Bernie Sanders. Remember, it was a big thing. It was back in 2019. Reverend Al and Bernie Sanders were pretty cool. Like, they went to lunch and talked and everything. And it looks like Reverend Al was going to support Bernie Sanders. I'm not sure Bernie would have been better than Biden, but it would be hard not to be, right? I mean, he does appear to be cognizant. May not have black reparations in his agenda at all. We know that. We know he ain't got no damn reparations. But he did seem like he was awake. But I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. You never really know with these Democrats, what they're going to do when they get in. But like I said, it would be pretty hard for him not to be better. Well, anyway, Clyburn and Al are talking, and Clyburn's like, yeah, he was about to go for Bernie Sanders. Well, Reverend Al was about to go for Bernie Sanders. That's it. Reverend Al was about to go for Bernie Sanders, and that's when Clyburn called him. Clyburn called Reverend Al and told Reverend Al, hey, you might want to pump your brakes. Don't endorse him yet. I'm the most progressive, and you want to be progressive, and you might want to change that to Biden. I'm going with Biden. And Reverend Al said, I went with Clyburn. I thought about it, and I went with Clyburn. And what did he get for that? Did Reverend Al get something for black Americans for that? Hell no. He wasn't even looking for it, but I can tell you what he did get. He did get to go on Air Force One with Joe Biden, and guess who? Jim Clyburn. And Al and them are yucking it up about this. This is on this thing. I'm not making this up. Al's telling this story. Just told it last week. He says, when I came on Air Force One, I'm walking down the aisle. I see Jim Clyburn, and Jim Clyburn looks at me and say, see, ain't you glad you voted for Joe? Told you. Not because Joe did something for us. All the people that have been sending Al money all these years. Not because Joe did something for us. Reverend Al threw Bernie under the bus. Did stand up for black Americans getting a damn thing. It was happy just to get a ride on Air Force One. And that, my friends, is the road to nowhere. And it's not my story. I'm retelling a story that was told by Al Sharpton in the presence of Jim Clyburn, who nodded his head and smiled the whole time. Because that's how they get down. You were never a consideration. I was never a consideration. Your kids weren't a consideration. Your grandkids weren't a consideration. Your neighbors weren't a consideration. The community at large was not a consideration. And bump that, all these causes they talk about, not a consideration. The consideration was their own black asses. So yeah, I'm not here to demonize them, but I damn sure ain't gonna let up the heat. I'm not gonna take my foot off the gas. It's all gas, no brakes. Because the more you think about what they've done, well, for me, all I can do is speak for myself. The more I think about what they've done, the more upset, the more angry, the more resilient I become towards expressing myself in a way that is uncompromising, relentless, and to the point blunt. We deserve better. So this road to nowhere, this long road to nowhere, the long drive to nowhere, actually, this is drive, because we're in the car, we ain't walking. I'm still trying to figure out how we're going to wake everybody up so we can mutiny. How are we going to wake everybody up to mutiny ourselves and take the wheel or just get out the damn car? I think we can get further walking. I believe we can get further walking, y'all. That's what I believe. I believe some of us have a false sense of security that we're in this vehicle, that we're being led around, what we've been driven by Al Sharpton. We got Shotgun, we got D.L. Hughley, we got Roland Martin with his iPad navigating, and we got Whoopi Goldberg making sure the windows stay fogged up, making sure the view ain't clear. And they think we doing well because they know these names. And when they see names like Tim Black, they say, who is that? What have you done? I can tell you what I haven't done. Lie for money. I can tell you what I haven't done. Gone on TV the last 20 years and told you bullshit in order to put more money in my pocket. I mean, you said, what have I done? See, we feel too cozy because we see names we recognize. I remember Sister Act. I remember that time she played the junkie. Yeah, I remember when she was given permission for blackface. I remember other shit. I remember other things that aren't so flattering. Yeah. We call that? No, it was a different time. Yeah, I remember Al, when Al, he held this March. Yeah, a lot of showy shit. I remember when he was an agent. Yeah, I remember the agent shit. I remember that. I remember the case that turned out not being a real case, but propelled him to national stardom. And I guess you thought that was an accident. Like he couldn't smell a rat. You can't tell after 10 minutes of hearing somebody tell you a story. Maybe, okay, let's say emotions are high. Maybe the first week you don't get it, but for a couple of years, you couldn't figure out that a 15-year-old was lying? That's what y'all saying? Oh, okay. For real, dog. I mean, it's okay to lie to yourself. Just don't lie to everybody else when you're doing it. Y'all got kids. Kids, 15-year-olds are not good at lying. I mean, they get turned around. The story don't stay straight. Anyway, look up the Tawana Brawley situation. But I guess since Al is bliggity black, he told like this, and after we, and he does a lot of gesturing like he's talking to, because he got the Reverend Al. He got Reverend behind his name, which I don't even get why that's even a thing, because he obviously doesn't care about God. It doesn't appear. I can't say that. I take that back. It doesn't appear for him to be a holy man. But yeah, I'm just saying. Don't make much sense. But I guess if you talk like that, and you do this, you see them on TV, you get a couple black women that sit in front of you and do like this when you talk. Yay, go Al. 'Cause they need to, because their Social Security ain't coming through. Or they got their son in jail. They need help. I don't know why they do it. I don't know why they do it. Your D.L. Hughley, your joke-telling days. Maybe you're tired of telling jokes. You're knocking on 60. We just need some stability. People told you had a learning disability and you got in some trouble when you was a kid, and now you get the opportunity to hang out with the president. You can actually be talking on the phone to the president of the United States and the vice president of the United States, and your eyes are big as saucers. You are so excited and proud of yourself. And like I said, how you gonna top it? Being a truth teller. That's a young man's game. So I'm serious, man. I'm looking for suggestions of how we get the rest of Black America out of the car for nowhere. This long drive to nowhere that we're going with a destination. Supposed to be Black progress, but the estimated arrival time to Black progress is never. Do we just keep driving nowhere? Do we just allow ourselves to be stuck in this vehicle? Do we take over the vehicle? Or do we dive out of the vehicle? See, I believe if I jump out, which I've already did, we're not going to be able to, we need to stop that vehicle. We need to get everybody out of that damn vehicle. And if we don't, the vehicle keeps riding and keeps on picking up more people. And there's some good people trapped in that vehicle that don't know better. And I think some of our best soldiers, our best fighters, are in that vehicle right now, on that long ride to nowhere. We get them out of that vehicle, they're going to be the best fighters. I know it. Ain't nothing like a woman scorned. Think about a woman whose money been taken. Think about a woman who's been played for a fool for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of animosity. That's what I think about sometimes when I see people that, Republicans, they're so angry. And they're so angry, fam. I mean, everybody's got reasons. I know a lot of people think it's just pettiness. People are sellouts. Now, people have reasons. People feel like their parents were lied to, and now you're lying to them. It's animosity, built up animosity. People that gave money to campaigns just to see the Democratic Party machine mold people down. People have seen that in real time. They say if you ever see how the sausage is made, you never ever eat sausage again. Some people have seen the sausage be made. Just because you haven't seen it, you don't want to see it. You're like, oh, you want to know, man. Don't tell me. I like half smoke. You go to a pig pit, you go to a processor plant, you be a different individual. Well, some people have been to the processing plant. It's the people that have been to the processing plant that get me. They've been to the processing plant. They've been to the slaughterhouse. They've seen the hormones being pumped in the animals that can't turn around. They've seen all of it, and they still eat it gladly. Not only do they eat it gladly, they tell you you should. I'll be real. This analogy is a great analogy, but I never watched those videos all the way through. I just can't do it. I like steak. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna pretend I'm a vegetarian. I'm not. And vegan. Oh my God, I don't know how you do that. Best I do is maybe one day a week. Maybe I could do like a vegetarian one day a week. That's all I could do. But it's an analogy for something about the Democratic Party. So, I mean, it's Friday night, fam. It's Friday night. What can we do? Just having a conversation about the road, the long drive to nowhere, the destination, and the people that are manning the vehicle, that are getting directions. Remember, they don't work for themselves. These are not solo operators. I mean, they are, but their money, and at the end of the day, I mean, why would you give, how can I say this, fam? How can anybody, I know people shit on Trump all the time about money, and this is my first time, well, I think I said his name, but I didn't really focus on him. I just want to point this out, right? A lot of criticism y'all give Trump is over the top BS. Anything Trump is doing, you can look and find Democrats doing the same thing. He didn't invent it. Whatever it is, you could say, oh my God, they just act more appalled because it's Trump. I mean, we got D.L. Hughley, a guy that wrote a book about Obama, who dropped bombs in 7 countries. We got this guy on a podcast in front of all of Black America talking about Trump dropping bombs and Trump's wars, when Obama had twice as many wars and dropped more bombs. And they don't know, so he gets to lie like that. It's just crazy. And it's one thing to lie about it. The dude wrote a book about it. He wrote a book for Obama. And that's how it is. But my point is that it's diabolical. When you know things like this, how could you respect these people on a political level? When you know they lie, they just brazen lie. Not only did you smoke weed, you inhaled shotgun and pass it out in school to your friends. Talking about you don't smoke weed. You was a weed man. That's how I feel about DL. Nah, it's not just a little small lie. It's like brazen. He had a tree in his backyard. But when it comes to Trump, they love to say that he's doing these things like he invented, even though 10 years ago, there was no Trump in politics. It's crazy. All this shit that's happened to Black America was already happening to Black America. It's not like all of a sudden things got tough for us when Trump came. They've been tough this whole time. They've been tough for the last 50 years. There are people acting as if this is new shit. I know, and there's some things I agree. Why did Trump do that? Why did Trump do that? But there's one particular part that really pisses me off, because it's so brazen. And I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about it, so I'm going to talk about it. Kamala Harris had $1.5 billion. And outside group spent another $1 billion. So she had maybe 4 times more money than Trump was spent on her campaign. Some crazy number, right? They talk about Trump doing payola, or Trump making money off his position, or Trump. And I guess that's horrible stuff. And if they can prove it, they should go after him for it. I will not defend corruption. But these people that are calling him out about it ignore Kamala's corruption and the corruption of the Democratic Party right in their faces. Kamala Harris gave Al Sharpton $500,000 from her campaign, which is from people's donations, to talk to her. Think about that. She gave Oprah's Harpo Productions money to talk to her. I think it was about $1 million. She gave Roland damn near $500,000 to talk to him. I just saw a clip of Little Boosie. And Little Boosie's complaining because DJ Vlad wouldn't give him $5,000 to be on his show. See what I'm saying? See, Boosie's a talent. The platform owner is Vlad. Boosie's complaining that Vlad wouldn't give him $5,000 more to be on his platform. But Kamala paid Al to be on his platform. Paid Roland to be on his platform. It paid Oprah to be on her platform. See what I'm saying? See, the platform's supposed to pay you. And if that's not corruption, is that not money laundering? If that's not what the same thing that sure, what's the woman's name that the sister they about to throw out? And I'm not trying to defend her. What I'm saying is, it's the same thing. Why did Kamala give money to the National Action Network to be on the National Action Network? They gonna make money from the advertising or her being there. When you come on, I don't pay guests to come on my show. I don't have it. I'm broke. But guests don't pay me to come on. Isn't that something? I did have one lady that said, hey, please bring this person on. Let me help with production. I was too broke to turn it down. Sure, she come on. I'd have had her on anyway, but please, one time. I'm being real. It was not $500,000. It was hundreds of dollars. Couple $100s. But when you're broke like I am, that makes a difference. This was years ago. But I just want to be full disclosure. I did have one sister on one time. She had a rich white lady who had money who said, hey, nice white lady, really cared about it, say, hey, look, you don't know this person, Tim? I love the show. Here, let me help your production. And then later she said, hey, could you please bring this person on? So it's kind of connected, but you get what I'm saying. But here's my thing. How can you call Trump a scumbag, a scam artist, a corrupt bastard, and not say that about the Democratic Party? It is right in your face. Everybody knows that Roland got money, that Oprah got money, that whoever it is. DL got money too. He got money to tour with her. So did Jazz the Crockett. They all got paid. Fam. She gave everybody money. She gave them money, and they did her bidding. Even people that were going to make money from her. She's the vice president of the United States. The first female vice president of the United States comes on your platform, and she has to pay you for the privilege? And nobody says, this is bullshit. This looks like payola. This looks like corruption. And then people listen to these people that brought her on, and they don't criticize. But if Dave Chappelle goes to Saudi Arabia, oh no, he took money. He didn't pay money. He's not paying the Saudis to do to somebody. It's just weird. So these are the types of things that I think about, that I know about. Because when you have a nose as big as mine, you can smell bullshit a lot easier. And when you pay attention like I do, when you know these things, and you're tuned in and you're looking for it, you see it everywhere. It's like Roddy Piper when he had the glasses on in They Live. When you wear those glasses, you see everything. Yeah, he's everywhere he looked, he can see them. These are aliens. Look at these. Oh my God, look at this. Oh, aliens. Everybody's an alien. Well, I got glasses too. And my glasses see through Democratic Party BS. And when you get the glasses, you see it everywhere. You see it in the Kamala Harris campaign. You see it in no voting, no vucking. You see the diminishing, the degradation, the slander to Black Americans in a campaign that would even have that. Basically saying, Black women, you know how Black men are. They can't control their libido. So, which harkens all the way back to what's that movie? It harkens back to that famous movie. The Echo, someone knows it. I mean, I had it, was right there, and then it left me. Gone with the Wind, no, that's not the one, it's the other one. The one with the Klan, the first Negro like the first like degrading, debasing movie about Black Americans. The Call of the Thing. Someone's got it. What's that movie, fam? What's that movie? It's that major movie that Mr. Trotter tried to get the White House not to air. We're going to sit with this for a minute because this is important. Birth of a Nation. That's it. That's it. Sean, thank you, Sean. Listen, fam, they love to tell you that the Democratic Party, everything switched and all the racists went to the Republican Party. But I'm saying, fam, somebody okayed the Democratic Party to have a campaign of no vucking, no voting, no vucking, which to me harkens back to Birth of a Nations, how Black men are characterized as apist and uncontrollable mutants that go after women like we can't control ourselves. To the point where they told Black women, you need to hold the cookies ransom. Because, you know, that's what Black men are led around by, and all you got to do is not give them that if they're not going to vote. So no vucking, no voting, no vucking. You didn't think that was racist. See, when you got the They Live glasses on, you see that everything the Democrat Party do for what it is, you see that. Because you look and you say, hey, why didn't they have white women do that? Why weren't white women withholding from white men to vote Democrat? Why wasn't that a campaign in the Latino community? See, we get interested now, aren't we? Yeah, I told you, see, we started off light, but we getting deep now. See, this is why they want to dump on, they want to dump on my brother Nick Cannon, right? For having thoughts. But follow me, man. Follow me. We're gonna etch this out. Think about this. Think about what we're saying here. The Democratic Party had a campaign to try to get the vote out, to get Black Americans to vote, particularly Black men to vote, right? So the way they did it was they had a campaign called No Voting, No Vucking. And we know the words vucking is not a word. They just dropped the F. You're welcome. So to me, it smelled like Birth of a Nation, where they're playing into a stereotype that Black men are overrun by our libido, that it clouds our judgment, like we have no sensibilities. We are walking phallus. A walking, joystick. And all our brains are in our pants. And we may not want to vote, and we may not like the Democrat, but we'll vote for him if our woman doesn't, if that woman says she's going to withhold from us, we're going to vote. And I found that to be very much a trope against Black men. Now, that's not a trope that the Republicans came up with. And if they came up with it, they didn't share it with us. That's a trope used by the Democratic Party. D.L. Hughley was promoting that. Think about what I'm saying here. These people were promoting that. And if you say, no, Tim, you're stretching, you're reaching, you're grasping at straws, why wasn't that program something that was in the Latino community? Why wasn't it in the Asian community? Why wasn't it in the new immigrant community or whatever? Because they would never disrespect those groups that way. Because the stereotype doesn't work that way, does it? See what I'm saying? See, when you put on the They Live glasses, you see stuff. Why would they use the sex against Black men and not against any other men? If you say, oh, it's just a male thing, why wasn't it including all men? Another question. When Kamala was running and she loves Black people so much, why would she be running for president and have people twerking on stage? I mean, it's like a running theme, y'all. Why would she even want to be associated with people twerking at a campaign rally? This has never been done before. I mean, I remember when Mary J. Blige serenaded Hillary Clinton. We gave all types of crap for that. But this is next level. And that wasn't a campaign. That was just like I don't even know what that was, an advertisement. I know Mary J. Blige wishing she could get that one back. That goes out in the history books as one of the most embarrassing black woman moments in American history. That's pretty bad, man. The time I sang Mammy. Oh, Hillary. Oh, Hillary. Damn. I'm going to need Dwan B to do the histrionics on that one, man, the musical histrionics on that. Has there been a worse performance from a political standpoint by a black artist? Yeah, but Sierra did the Trump thing that time, so, oh no. Anyway, I'm not saying cancel Mary J. I'm just saying this just seems weird. Anyway, so we got all these instances. All these disgusting. Look who Kamala Harris had on Twitter as like a influencer for a campaign. Kamala Harris has a person on Twitter who was so disgusting, over the top, vile, that me playing his clip on this channel almost got my channel shut down. My live stream almost got cut. That's how bad he was. And he was on a payroll because Kamala doesn't respect black people. And she felt this is what black people like. They like vile LGBTQ people that spew the worst things as loud as possible. Vile, disgusting things. She paid him to speak for her. And like I said, we're not going to support. We're not going to take up for Trump, but we got to call a thing a thing. If Trump look at Trump's gays. Trump's gays are not loud and flamboyant and calling people all out their name and wishing them to die and talking about I can't even describe it because it'll mess up my channel, but Trump doesn't do that with his LGBTQ people that follow him. That guy Rob Smith would never say nothing like that. But we call him all the names though. When was the last time I heard somebody call this guy that was working for Kamala those names? And why don't they? That's the question. The question is, why not the same level of vitriol, backlash, and calling out? See, that's why I was bringing it up. When I say, hey, we got all these influencers, we got all these people with platforms. They're so elevated. They're academics. They talk about their degrees. They talk about everything they know. Why aren't you giving the same amount of smoke to Democrats who are doing way worse shit? Oh, we know why. We know why. And that's the problem. And if no one says that to them and it doesn't get air, it'll never change. Me calling it out puts some form of pressure if it was to ever get anywhere, right? We would have to circulate it, which requires me to do a better job of packaging the message so that people share it. Because people are not obligated to share content. You got to be damn good at what you do. So finally, thank goodness, I knock on wood because it's all based on the viewer. Thank goodness I'm doing my best work at the right time, that I have the opportunity to reach more people so the message travels. All I'm saying, fam, all I'm saying is that the best way to get Black America out of the car, the long drive to nowhere, is for them to wake up. And the only way to wake them up is actually wake them up and to show them, put a mirror up to the Democratic Party and say, hey, you saw that? Let me tell you what you were seeing. Because they don't know what they were seeing. Did they know what they were seeing when they were seeing Megan Thee Stallion twerking when Glorilla was twerking? That's what they think about you. that that's what you wanted to see, that would influence your vote. You think Honey Bun, what's the white boy, the fat white boy's name? He ain't doing that country music stuff. You ain't seeing that on the Republican side of the ball. I mean, I don't like Kid Rock, but he wasn't twerking. Because white people would be like, the Republicans, what the hell is that? It might be offensive. You don't think that was offensive to some black people? It was. They don't care. They figure enough black people are unhome or don't have home training, don't have morals, don't have XYZ, so they don't have a problem with it. In fact, there'll be a positive net gain from it. There'll be a net gain from it. Of course, some black people will be upset, but we'll bring out Dale Hughley and Ricky Smiley and Steve Harvey, some other blacks to shame any black people that was calling out. And then we'll put it on The View and have Whoopi clog the windows, fog up the windows and manipulate the view so they can't see what they think they saw. And that's how you end up on the long drive to nowhere. Forever. Forever, ever. Forever, ever. Forever, ever. And it just keeps going. In my job, in the job of anybody I feel who's doing this job correctly, is to show people what they've already seen, to articulate what they missed. It's like a Kendrick Lamar video. You know, that Super Bowl performance, great performance, a lot of energy, but I had to get the Easter eggs to really respect it. Because it looks great, but until you get the Easter eggs, like this symbolized this and that symbolized that and that meant this. Same thing with Sinners. I mean, you could watch a movie and be like, it's a good movie. But until you get the Easter eggs and understand, oh, this is a metaphor. When Cornbread was trying to get back in, him already being dead, but he's trying to get back in, that symbolizes this. Oh. Damn. Now it's another level. See, that's how we get people to wake up, how Black America can wake up and either take over their car or get another vehicle. So we can actually get where we're going. So yeah, the promised land may be reparations, fam. The promised land for Black Americans may be reparations, but there are other stops we can make. We may not get to reparations right away. We could go. We go to trade school. We can't even get to the trade school. We can't get to vocational training for black kids. I mean, we want to check, but maybe we could cut some vocational training too. Well, you know, pieces, you know, bit by bit, you know, things that we can agree on that are advantageous to our community. We can start with those. We don't have enough intelligent people. Like Jasmine Crockett says she's looking for a job at a law firm. There was some jobs at law, some legal work she could have did as congressperson instead of going after Trump 24/7. For airtime, she could have been drafting legislation for vocational training, a program, and you got to frame it in a lineage-based way. Shout out to Yvette Carnell. You got to frame it in a lineage-based way so it can't be shot down by Edward Bloom. But just now, you just got to find out, okay, what kind of jobs or what kind of training, and then you have to be, English has to be your primary language. There's ways we can massage the language where 90% of it impacts us. It's all about how you frame it. Can't just say black, that's what they're striking down. But there's other ways. There's other ways to make sure that it benefits black people. See, Roland knows this. He just omits the truth. He knows there's ways to do it. You just have to be clever when you got lawyers who find loopholes for a living. I mean, they go through the tax code and make sure their clients don't pay any taxes for 30 years. Trump ain't paid taxes in 30 years. That's because he has a lawyer. I mean, we can't get a lawyer that can create a loophole so that black kids could go to vocational training schools? I mean, they could do it. They just, they have to have the incentive. See, I believe the Democratic Party, one more time, I believe the Democratic Party incentivizes Democrats not to do anything. That's what benign neglect is. Now, for us, they might do something for LGBTQ, they're going to do something for veterans, they do something for the immigrants, because they work like the devil. And you better get used to it. Imagine someone saying that to white people. You better let they work like the devil. These Asians work like the devil, and you better get used to it, because it's going to be more of them than you. Imagine him. So who do you think he was talking to? He was talking to a room full of black people. Al Sharpton was on the call. I saw the Zoom. Did he speak up and sound? Was he talking tough then? Was he like, oh, hold on. Who you talking to? Joe. Nah, he was quiet as a church mouse. They got hit with the lawnmower. Quiet. His job is to drive wherever the powerful Democrats tell him to drive. He's a driver, not the showrunner. Calling somebody else an agent. So I believe the only way we get black America to actually be on the road to progress and to reach the destination of progress, we're going to have to get them to see what's going on and to know what the thing is. Now, you think if black Americans saw it the way I've been articulating it, if they saw the no voting, no vucking as disrespectful to black Americans, you think they would still be supporting them like they do? Hell nah. And that's where the D.L. Hughley's come in. That's where the shotgun, the radio come in. That's when he started controlling the station, controlling the messaging. I think it's incumbent on me. I mean, I can articulate it. Black people. I think it's obvious that what we have here is a clear representation of all the things that Trump has done, which has been. And you got to see it for what it is. That time that squirrel. I learned my lesson. Kamala, and she could have did, and she didn't. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, what you're saying is nothing. It's the smoke screen. But don't you think if people knew it, they'd react differently? Well, how can they know it if they're not watching? They don't know. And if you think this is a money play, please, Bama, where's the money in it? It's not a money play. Believe me, this is a job. It's a cause. This is for the people, fam. Some things you do for money, some things you do because they're the right thing to do. And the only way to get black people on the actual road to progress, we got to get out the damn Democratic Shill Express. We have to, because the Shill Express, the navigation system is run by Roland, and he is back there on his iPad, putting in the coordinates to take us nowhere. But his check comes on time. A good year for him is more ad revenue, not more for us. So children can experience the luxury of this developed nation. That's crazy you brought that up. Busch Gardens. That's crazy. My youngest son went to Busch Gardens today. That's crazy. With his school. What are we going to do? What are we going to do, y'all? How do we wake him up? I wish I had more answers. All I know to do is what I'm doing. I've been thinking about it. I racked my brain. I try to come up with unique ways, right, to demonstrate it. The Shill Express. I think this is a unique way to demonstrate it. The Shill Express. The long ride to nowhere. Al Sharpton's the driver. DL's riding shotgun. Roland Martin is the navigator. And Whoopi Goldberg, she fogs up the windows, keeps the windows foggy, keeps the windows frosty and fogged up so that you can't get a proper view. So the view is distorted. Can anybody deny how distorted the view is? I want to know what is going on. I've been trying. But no, Whoopi, no. Whoopi Goldberg has made so much money over the years on The View, misleading people and giving us a false view. That's what she's done. And you would think at some point, is ever enough? No, it's not. It's a capitalistic society. The capitalistic society keeps on stacking money and you keep spending it and keep making it. And people decide, well, I'm just a cog in a machine. The machine keeps going with or without me. It would be foolish to get out. It would be foolish to stop. So yeah, the Shill Express keeps riding in the long road to nowhere, with no destination. Well, the destination is supposed to be Black progress. They have to give you a fake destination. And people think they're going towards progress, but there is none. We never get to progress. And the kicker is, they tell you even asking, where are we going? Why aren't we there yet? Is a betrayal. Makes you a sellout to question it. Yeah, you're a sellout if you question, why is this? Why is that? When you question the leadership, when you question Roland, what's he call you? A dummy. Stupid, super simple Simon, and he's got, you know, he's like Johnny Carson. He's got Ed McMahon sitting right there. You see Carr? Like he jonesing for another hit. Keep going. It's despicable, fam. It really is. It don't get no worse. And these are, remember who we talking about here. We talking about professors. We're talking about people that have young Black children's minds at their disposal, who they're misleading with this nonsense. And their form of revolutionary is to stay with a party that we've already been with that's got us to where we are. Nowhere. That's where it's gotten us. And their big plan is to keep doing it and to blame people like me for us not getting where we're going, which is nowhere. You know what I'm saying is, we may not have all the answers. Independent media, new Black media may not have all the answers. I get that. Here's the thing, and this is something I've told people for years. We don't want to lose. We're not choosing to lose. But you never know. You got to take chances. You got to try things. And if you're going to lose, at least find new ways to lose. Because nothing's worse than to keep doing the same thing and to keep losing and to just keep doing the losing way. And that's what you're doing with the Democratic Party. That's all I'm saying. It cannot be worse. Black America's at the bottom of everything good and at the top of everything bad in this country when it comes to quantifiable ways as you measure, when it comes to equality in health and in wealth. Fam, how are we going to own 40%? How are 40% of Black Americans own their own homes in the 60s? How you go to 2026 and merely 40-something% of Black Americans own their own homes? How Latinos who didn't really start coming here until the 70s, how they get to 50% and we still in the low 40s? We've been voting for the same party since the 60s. How are we still stuck at 42, 44%? See, when you ask rolling questions like that, what are you going to say? That's why when you say, Tim, you got to invite Roland on. When I ask him that question, what are you going to say? Get my iPad. See, you simple Simon. See what the Republicans got for you. We don't vote Republican. So don't bring up vote Republican. Why do y'all fall for that stupid distraction? It don't make sense. If you would have put your coat, your wool coat on, you wouldn't be cold. Okay. I don't own a wool coat. Well, put your wool coat on. It's like this. I don't know. I can't think of a great analogy for it. All they got for you, all they gonna have for me, all Roland's gonna say, all Clyburn can say is, what about the Republicans? You know? I had the lasagna. You want that mystery meat over there at the Republicans? I didn't have that. I'm asking why the lasagna sucks so bad. Why it's got me on the toilet. Well, you don't want that over there. Yeah, I didn't eat that over there. I ate this. Man, just sit down and get my money back. And for some reason, I don't understand how it happened, man. How did Roland get such a big audience of people that that don't see that? It's because we're conditioned to hate ourselves. We blame ourselves for things not working well for us. That's the only thing I can come up with, fam. We blame us for everything. We blame the individual. We blame ourselves. And that's what Al Sharpton and Roland be doing when they start yelling and chastising. Oh, what Roland say? No, not Roland. What Al say? You must be an agent or you stupid. If you don't like me saying that, I say it again. You think Al would talk that way to a white audience? Now they don't appreciate being talked down to. That's because they white supremacists, Tim. Now, we just have in our heads that it's okay to talk to some of us like that. Yeah. It goes deep, man. I have theories. I'm going to flesh them out. I'm going to flesh out these theories, and I'm going to come in I'm going to come with new ways to articulate, creative ways to articulate the message, because it's up to me to articulate the message in a way that will get the attention of the people I'm trying to reach. It's not just to sit back and say, these are bad people, they don't pay attention, horrible people, these people are morons, dumb. No, it's my job to craft a better message. That's the only thing I do. This is all I do. So my job is to do this better. And it doesn't mean microphones rolling. It doesn't mean better lighting rolling. It doesn't mean change your clothes, Tim, put on a new designer suit. Put on a new alpha sweater. No, be better at articulating the message so that it has legs. And it'll do this thing that Steve Martin said, you have to be so good they can't ignore you. It has to be so good it cuts through the noise. That's my job. That's what I got to do. And I believe different types of content will affect different people in different ways. To close this out, I want to close this out. I don't want to stay on it all night. I'm hungry, tired. It's been a hell of a week. We're going nowhere. We're on this long drive to nowhere. It's not enough for you to just get out. It's not enough. The party, we have to destroy the Death Star. Real talk, we got to destroy the Death Star because it's too many good people in the Death Star who are going to be hurt, who are being hurt by it. So we have to come up with a plan. Go to jointimblack.com. You can join for free. I wish you wouldn't. But you could join for free. I think I'm worth $5. You know, at least. But I believe, right, that we just can't get out the car and just go about our business. We black, we're in a situation, fam. Look, here's the kicker. Here goes one. If black women, first of all, America is a first world country, if not a superpower. I don't even know where we rank now. But I can tell you this. The maternal mortality rate in America rivals some third world countries. That's for everybody. The baseline of where we are, maternal mortality rate, is like a third world country. Indonesia. I don't know. Somalia. One of those S-holes that Trump was talking about. That's us. Right? So we're already horrible. But black women are 2 to 3 times more likely to die giving birth than white women. That's not a stat that happened under Trump. That's a stat that is continuing through. It's a through line, regardless of who's in office. If Democratic Party cared about black women, who they repeatedly say are the few that keeps their party running, wouldn't you think that would be a priority to increase that number so that, or to lower the maternal mortality rate of black women from being 2 to 3 times more than white women if they cared about black women? And if that, can you really say that they care about black women? How could you be a black woman, be aware of that, hear that, look it up, confirm it, know it to be true, not fake news, it's fake news. But no, you find out that it's true. How could you find that out and still be okay with rolling going, get my iPad, get my iPad. See, these simple Simons don't know you can't pass such a station if, what? If you're at a party that doesn't care enough about making sure black women live, what kind of party are you in? See, that's why you can't have a conversation with me, because I know things. I know that while they're up here complaining about undocumented immigrants who are in the country illegally, they are not illegal people. It's not illegal to be a person. They are in this country illegally. If I walked in your door tomorrow and you didn't give me permission, you came in and you found me sitting on your couch drinking your Sprite, I would be in your house illegally. They're here illegally. There are children of those undocumented immigrants who are now in custody of ICE. Those children who don't have other relatives to be with are now in facilities because you can't just leave them at home if they're underage, hence children. So they take the children, they put them in facilities for children. There's a couple of these places, and one of them housed a whopping 400 at one point, 400 kids. It's because they did a really good job picking up people and, oh my God, we're bursting at the seams. We got 400 people. I kept hearing Democrats talk about this, which is what made me do research. And I say they were really complaining and pissed off, and Pramila Jayapal, Representative Jayapal, was complaining about this, and she was saying how it was a travesty, this was disgusting, it's inhumane, it's barbaric, it's Nazi-like. And that those immigrants, undocumented immigrant children, deserve reparations. Because they're in facilities and they're not getting treated well, and they don't have all these things. And they've been traumatized, they've been separated from their parents. See, when then I do my research, I find out, that one facility that she visited that they talk about a lot, I forget the name of it, I think it's in Texas. It had a whopping 400 to 500 people in it. That was temporary. They reduced it down to 100 to maybe 200 people, which is the capacity it should be at. Then we find out nationally, we got a few thousand. I'm going to go crazy and say, I'm going to go bananas and say 5,000 undocumented kids are in these type foster care type facility, detention type centers, that because there's nowhere else to put them. They could be with their parents. The parents are in jail. Happens to American citizens. And like I said, 5,000 would be the whopping number, right? Nationally. Fam, do you realize over 330,000 U.S. kids are in similar facilities right now? And with all things that are not positive, Black Americans are 6 to 8 times more likely to be in those facilities. Black kids make up 40 or 50% of detention centers and foster care. Do the math on that, please. 40%, 50% of 300,000 is well over 100,000. 250,000, right? 160,000, 165,000. It's a lot of black kids in these similar situations. Now, some of them are there because they broke crime, they broke laws. But when you're a kid and you're breaking the law, I mean, you're still a kid, right? Just like the undocumented kids. Their parents broke a law, not them. It's important. We don't lose our, let's not lose our humanity just because we're standing on business. We can do both. That's what makes you a non-Trumper, just Trump and try to make money off Trump, when you can stand on your humanity. But my thing is this, if you're gonna say reparations need to be made for undocumented children whose parents broke the law to be here, why aren't you saying that about all the kids, all the black kids that are in foster homes, juvenile detention centers? I mean, you start looking at certain states, it's crazy. I think it was Seattle, Washington. 70 or 80% of the children in foster homes were black kids. Jail Paul doesn't talk about that. She doesn't demand reparations. And she used the word reparations to trigger people like me. Because why else would you use that term? We all know the word reparations is for black folks. You say Holocaust, what do you think of? You say reparations, what do you think of? She did it on purpose. Do you think Roland and the Democrats and Reverend Al and all these people that tell you that I'm anti-black, that new black media is anti-black because we call out the Democrats? You think they called this shit out? No, not a bit. See, these are things I have a problem with because I know these things. Same thing goes for Jasmine Crockett when she was talking about undocumented people being in jail and being disappeared and all of this shit. For every one undocumented immigrant that's in our country illegally that's sitting in a jail cell or sitting in a detention center, there are 188 U.S. citizens doing the same thing. And guess what? Their kids ain't with them. And that number is in Texas. The number of Texans in her home state that are sitting in jails in her home state. Crazy numbers. No words about that. In fact, I think Jasmine Crockett, she may have won if she'd have put as much effort she put into trans kids, in immigrants, undocumented immigrants, and she'd have put that into black people, maybe she would have won. I mean, she didn't lose by that much. I mean, I'm just saying. But hindsight's 50-50. You got to go with the Democratic playbook, and the Democratic playbook says the Latinos are the future. So that's what you do. They ain't vote for her anyway. We would have, but we are too risky. Like Chris Rock said, we're not good bargaining chips. Or was that Chappelle? So anyway, these are things, when you know the numbers, when you know these things, it becomes very difficult to move about as a normal person. And once you know something, you can't unknow it. And that's where I'm at. I'm stuck. I know this stuff. And I don't just look up things arbitrarily. They talk about it. Jasmine Crockett kept talking about all the people being in jail. I look it up, and I'm like, well, damn, if you're in Texas, and we got all these incarceration rates in Texas, why aren't you talking about Texans? And whenever they talk, why they don't ever talk numbers? Everybody keeps talking about Renee Good and Alex Preddy. You know how many American citizens was shot? Well, some people do throw away Brother Porter. That's 3. 3, I'm going to leave Mr. Porter out because he's a black man, and I still don't know what took place. They say he shot at the cops. Okay. Looks like he missed. 2 white people got killed by ICE. It's a bad thing. ICE are operating as law enforcement. But since they're operating as law enforcement, I put it in the law enforcement bucket. When I look at the bucket of law enforcement deaths, 2 doesn't seem like, I don't know. You know what we would do in a city like Memphis if they only had 2 homicides this year? I mean, do you realize the celebrating that would happen in Baltimore if you only had 2 homicides in Baltimore this year? Damn, they poured ICE out of Minnesota over 2 people. Imagine if they pulled the NYPD out of New York over 2 black people, 2 black Americans. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I'm not saying that would be a good thing. I'm just saying this is crazy. But anyway, my point is, when you start looking at numbers, that's why rarely when they're doing this outrage thing, when the Abby Phillips show has somebody on it talking, it might be Bakari Sellers or Van Lathan, somebody, I don't know. When they're talking, numbers don't come up because the gaslighting is in the moral decay, the morality, and the whatever. But you start talking about numbers, and people got to shut the hell up because the numbers are lopsided as hell. Even when we talk about deportations. I mean, when you start knowing things, you put on your they live glasses, and you realize, oh, Biden let in 20 million people. You start using common sense. I mean, you ain't got to be Scott Jennings to bring this shit up, you know. I mean, I don't know how big your house is, but I'm assuming you live in a residential home, you know, normal occupancy, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it seats. I don't know. Maybe let's say you got an SUV. Yeah, maybe it seats 5. What if 50 people climbed in it? If 50 people climbed in it, I think you'd know. Well, that's what we got. That's what happened over the last 3 years under Biden, and people act like that's wrong to say, like, where'd these people go? Where'd 20 million, where'd they get jobs from? I saw something. I saw my sister, Summer Lee. See, I know a lot of stuff. Representative Summer Lee seems like a shining bright star in the Democratic Party in a sea of corruption and go-alongs and all this other stuff, right? There's a sea of mediocrity and corporate interests. Seems like a shining star in there, you know. And formerly, when I was a progressive, we followed each other on X, and I think we were talking about her coming on the show, but I went rogue, and that discussion went sideways, and there's no more talks. But I recently saw Summer Lee in a clip where she's talking about how the Trump administration made them go back and take black out of some stuff. I don't know, black out of this, and they took a lot of words that were included in some documentation. I think it's federal employment thing or something, right? So they removed the words like, it wasn't just black, removed trans and LGBTQ, and made a lot of the language change in a lot of the government documentation, right? So I don't know. So that's what it was. And I started thinking, I was going to cover this, but I'll just say it. Democrats, you can't act upset about that. I get what you're saying from a point of view of, representation and all that good stuff, but when Trump said black jobs, you was mad. You said, ain't no such thing as black job. So now, as petty as Trump and his administration is, they're like, well, you're right. Let's pull black out of everything. No more black stuff. I mean, I said black jobs, and you said that's black jobs. No such thing as black jobs. What are you trying to say is a black job? You mean sharecropping, picking cotton? We don't pick no damn cotton. A white job is a black job, is a black job, is a white job. There are industries that black people historically have been in. I know you got 3 degrees, Mr. Smarty-Eye, but there are people that work for a living with their hands. There are people that go on traditional job lines that historically black people have done, construction. There's people that do meat packing and people that do office administrative jobs, and people that work in medical field, nursing, there's teaching. There's a number of professions that don't require doctorates that black people do, right? Everyone's not a lawyer. In fact, we only make up like 4%. Black men are 4% of lawyers, of male lawyers. Black women are like 4% of female lawyers in the country. Who's doing those? So those jobs you think we're getting, we're not getting them at the rate just because you watched Hulu and Peacock, right? Working class black people do working class jobs. Those jobs are being heavily filled by other people. So what's left for black people? If you take the jobs that black people traditionally take, that everybody goes to code or learns to code. And now we got Claude and Grok and ChatGPT. So nobody's learning to code. Great, congratulations. But anyway, the point is you told Trump and his administration, don't you dare say black jobs. You had D.L. Hughley and Dr. Jason Johnson, and I'm just grabbing names now, I don't know. I'm sure, pretty sure all the usual suspects complained. Jamel Hill, really pissed off, complained about the administration. Her and Curry Champion wrote a sports blog about it. The point is this. Now that they're taking the word black out of shit, as you told him to, now it's a problem because now it's things you want the word black to be in. See, my theory about all of this, fam, and I don't know if you're going to ride with me on this, but I'm going to tell you. I think the majority of the backlash that black people have gotten from the Trump administration is partially because the Democrats had grouped everybody with black people and started doing a whole lot of stuff for all those other groups using blackness as the blocker. That's what I think. That's not what I think. That's what I know. Because when you start looking at some of these policies, it's like the Title I stuff, the Title VII stuff, it's like you start looking, it's like trans and LGBTQ. Black people are stapled to the back, written in crayon. We're not even on the front list. But they use, black has been discriminated. Historically, black people have been. But then when you go see who the beneficiaries and recipients, white women and trans and gay, and it's like, what? So Democrats were using black people to run the okie doke on white people, conservative whites, and they got tired of it. The only way to defeat Freddy Krueger was a headshot against black people. And that was messed up because we weren't benefiting from it. They were. See, that's why you can't be Roland Martin and have a conversation with me, because I know shit like that. I worked in the federal government as a contractor for 20 years. I know a few things about some of that government, how it operated, and what was changed under Obama. Obama did that. He did it as a gift to the doctors, and a gift to the immigrants, and a gift to LGBTQ. And it sucked to us. It hurt us. And then they had to reverse it. To reverse it, black people are the front of it. With your Target boycotts and all the other shit. Anybody with a brain knows DEI didn't primarily help black Americans. I mean, it may have helped black women to a less degree, a very lesser degree, a small degree. Nowhere near on the board as white women were helped. But black men, you can forget about it. You're like last on the list. And we knew it too. But you just keep on going and you just keep your libido in check, black man. No voting, no fucking. So this is the reality, right? And once again, folks, once you know these things, once you have on your They Live glasses, once you put on your They Live glasses, you see all of this. And I don't think they want us to know. I'm positive they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know how the sausage is made. This is how they remained a viable party. The Democrats, you don't get it. The Democrats should have been done in '08. Yeah. They played their last card, which was the Obama card. But the bad part about it is they gave black people a carrot on a stick, and we caught the carrot, and the carrot was spoiled. We realized the carrot, it wasn't made a carrot. Yeah, they let black people catch the carrot. So the plan after that was like, uh-oh. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that 2012, black people didn't come out and vote like that for Obama. All the propaganda machine behind them and everything. If the same amount of black people or the same amount of white people weren't so hateful against Mitt Romney because he was a Mormon, if the same amount of white people or Republicans would have came out and voted for Romney that voted for McCain, Obama would have been a one-term president and out. The only reason why he won re-election is that conservatives hate Mormons too. But see, that was the beginning of the end of the Democrats, because it's one thing to play in our faces, but also promise us one day you might get a black man who want to carry the lantern for you. And then we get him, and he's hanging out with Jay-Z and he's Rihanna and calling Kanye an asshole, and he's got playlists and Chance the Rapper, and then he gets up there and he says, "Oh, whoa, 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 calm down, calm down. Calm down. Hey, I'm the president of America. I ain't the president of blacks. Michelle, get these N-words off my lawn. What's going on here? Jesus Christ. What is this, Harlem? Get these. Hey, Sasha, no, don't fraternize. No. White. Get a cute white friend. What's going on here? So, Malia. What's all this hippity hoppity? No. That's for the goofies. No. But it's been over for the Democrats for a long time. Yeah. Obama was the death throes of a dying party. And now that dog don't hunt. It took a pandemic. It took a pandemic for Biden to win. And that's only because, and I'm just saying, I mean, you really think that Joe Biden legitimately got more votes than Barack Obama? I mean, really? In '08? We've never had an old white man as president before. I'm sure everyone was excited to vote. I was just saying, Johnson, believe what you want to believe. Yeah, you got a little bit of conspiracy theory in there, just enough to with the whistle. A little kick. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. The Democratic Party is over. And don't cry for them, Argentina. They earned it. Underperforming. So they're at the point, it's not just hate to say they need a new voting base. They need a new voting base. Who gonna vote for them? For every Melrose Radio, Melrose Radio represents, shout out to that brother, he represents a growing dislike, distrust, and frustration that Black Americans have with the Democratic Party. He didn't create it. It's not because he said something on Al's convention. That the response is because people relate to it. So Al's response to calling him an agent is right on par with Joy Reid calling us bots. Because they don't know how to respond. It's just they smear you instead of rebut your claim. But yeah, they got no choices to bring in new people. What else they gonna do? It just so happens after Obama, closed the borders, deported, set records, became the deporter in chief. Right after that, the next Democrat does the opposite. And then you tell me I'm white supremacist? I'm a white nationalist for saying, hey, he had to do that for a reason. Really? Who are you working for? I mean, when it's hot and we don't want to run the AC and I leave the window open, it's for a reason. You mean to tell me Biden left the window open and 20 million people climbed through it, and you want me to believe he didn't remember and left it open? Is that what you want me to think? And then you want me to think that those places that they live in weren't previously occupied by other people? Meanwhile, Black Americans in some cities are 50% of the homeless rate, even though we're like 3 and 5% of the overall population, and you don't want me to think those things are connected at all? I mean, please. See, that's why I say when you put the they live glasses on, you start seeing things. Like, yeah, where'd 20 million people go? Remember that joke Richard Pryor had about Chinese folks? It said, it's 1 billion Chinese. You don't want to go to war with 1 billion Chinese people. He said, hey, Rich, it's about 1 billion Chinese people outside waiting to fight you. I can help you with 2 of them. I don't know. Shout out to Richard Pryor, man. I just love his comedy. Well, anyway, it's 20 million. It's 20 million undocumented immigrants outside looking for jobs. I might be able to hold you a slot. You. And then they work for less too. See what I'm saying? Like, is that crazy? Like, is that's xenophobic to count? Thought it was a housing shortage. How do you house those people? Where'd they get housed at? I don't know. I guess you can't answer that. But I'm going to ask it. I guess I'm Jordan Peterson because I asked that question. How dare you ask where people went? My taxes say I could ask that question. Because you work for me. Representative, whatever your name is, senator, congressperson. See, the they live glasses are a very dangerous thing. And if more black people got the they live glasses on, and look, I don't mean that for nothing, but if some of our white friends, some of them picked up the they live glasses, they'd be pretty pissed off. Yeah. So don't tell me it's impossible to turn this around. We just need more people with glasses. More people get glasses, the more people will see. And if more people will see, things will change. That's what I believe. I can help you with 2 of them. I mean, I'm just being realistic. Oh, Tim, it wasn't 20 million, it was 10. Ah, gotcha. Where'd they go? I bet you I know where they didn't go. Melrose Place. Wherever that is that Kamala lives. She's quick to say, get him off my line. Damn it, Doug. Not here. She was quick when Greg Abbott sent the undocumented people from Texas to D.C. to Kamala's lawn. That was funny as shit, wasn't it? And she quickly came out there. Don't come. Don't come. I know she was talking to Doug or she was talking to the undocumented. Anyway, the point is this. See, why you have to get colorful? I know, man. I know. Sorry, Mrs. Black. Oh, damn. Oh, God. I let people know I'm quick. The point is this, Johnson. When you put on the They Live glasses, you see through them nonsense. That's all I'm saying, fam. And I think my job is to help people put on the glasses. Let's put the glasses on the people. Let's get them out of the long drive to nowhere, out of the Shill Express. Let's get them out. Let's save them. Let's activate them and empower them to know what's going on. And let's see what happens. If you agree that what we have currently is unacceptable, something's got to change. Let's be a part of the change. That's what the goal is of this channel. So what are next steps? Next steps are you joining us. Go to jointimblack.com, become a free member of the Tim Black Show. That's the goal. That is the goal. The goal is not to be a news show. The goal is to help people get their They Live glasses. They say in business you need an offer, right? It's another word for it. It's a value proposition. That's the value proposition of this channel. The value proposition of the Tim Black Show is that, right? That's the value proposition. Anybody with any thoughts? Do we have any thoughts, Johnson? Any comments? Anybody, any super chats? Do we have any super chat? Looking, open. Huh, okay. Oh, we gotta. Yeah. So, my bad, guys. New York, them black glasses. Yeah, that's what we need, respect. It's a noble mission. I can see. Natasha Holiday says she can see. Willie Mays is in the building. No theater 3D glasses either. 60% of TBS, Haitians are on government-funded programs. Yeah, I saw Ayanna Presley, another person who was going to come on the Tim Black Show. See, I was doing things. But see, I guess once it's like, oh, Tim's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough interview. Oh, shit. And then all of a sudden now the emails don't get responded to. But Ayanna Presley, later in the week I'll be talking about her. Because she was celebrating the TPS victory. Celebrating. Very, very happy. Yeah. But I thank y'all, man, for being here, man. I do. Martha's Vineyard, yeah, that's another spot, exactly. The Martha's Vineyard location. Yeah, they was pissed when the documented people were on the Martha's Vineyard Island. Yeah, they didn't like that. I don't know why. All of a sudden, no black. All of a sudden, they didn't want the undocumented people there. I don't know what's wrong. They want to send them to D.C., though. They want to send them to Philly. They want to send them to Baltimore. They want to send them to New York City. They sent a lot of them to Colorado. Was that Venezuela? I don't know. Springfield, Ohio. These destinations. It's kind of crazy. Hey, you, while lowering his glasses. All right, fam, that's really all I have. But what I got to do, fam, is I got to go to my promo. After my promo, we'll close this out. Johnson, we got to do the business. So let me run my promotional deal, and then we'll close out the show with Peoples. Probably not the best way to do it, but in our last spotlight, we discussed Saga Metals trading as SAGMF in the U.S. and SAGA. In our last spotlight, we discussed Saga Metals trading as SAGMF in the U.S. and SAGA in Canada, and their acquisition of another titanium asset in the same district as the world's largest titanium mine. Today, that story is accelerating. Saga Metals just strengthened its positions with the aptly named Wolverine project in Labrador. The heavy rare earth element, HREE, monopoly. Many of the elements necessary for defense and advanced technology come from unstable or adversarial regions. Saga Metals offers a solution with the Wolverine project, a massive 100% asset in a safe Tier 1 jurisdiction of Labrador, Canada. It's right there. Remember, this isn't just about mineral exploration. It's about national security. The Trump administration has declared it imperative to secure supply chains for defense. Defense technology is impossible without the specific elements found in Wolverine. Jet engines, satellite, precision-guided munitions, and stealth technology. It requires a steady supply of heavy rare earths. The U.S. remains dangerously dependent on foreign sources. Around 80% of its rare earths come from abroad. To ensure long-term defense readiness, North America needs a generational reserve. Saga Metals is finalizing a maiden resource of 100 million tons with a long-term conceptual target of 1 billion tons. The Wolverine project could be a cornerstone of North America's secure supply of critical minerals. I'll leave you with this. Saga's Wolverine project sits near the Voisey Bay discovery, one of the most famous mining deals ever at $4.3 billion. That deal is a perfect example of how a single discovery could transform a company. Early explorer, major discovery, multi-billion-dollar buyout. That's the kind of historic success you're looking at here. Saga Metals is positioned in that same region with the government mandates behind the sector, strong drill results, and a team executing year-round. The current valuation may not capture the full picture of what's happening, and with that momentum accelerating, this is a story worth following. If you want to learn more about this critical discovery, check the link in the description. A special thanks to Saga Metals for making today's video possible. Yeah, fam. I appreciate y'all, man. I do, man. I appreciate y'all. And I appreciate Saga Metals for being a sponsor of this show that's not political. It's not political at all. So they have no say over my political content whatsoever. They just like my ability to deliver a message to my audience. They think I talk like a regular person. Yeah. So look, guys, man, I want to thank everybody for coming through, man. I thank you, WD, for representing and showing out, man. Keep the analysis coming in and receipts. Always, fam. And like I said, my job is to come up with better ways to express the receipts. And it's a beautiful thing, man, because every day the Democrats, with all the corporate media they have backing them, they're going to start a conversation, and I'm going to finish it. Yeah. They set the table, and I come in, because it's a topic that they give me the topics. They give me the opportunity. They'll be gaslighting. And then on the reality side of the game, I can expose that. So it's a beautiful thing. So some people that write me say, Tim Black, what's the solution? Tim Black, where are we going with this? And I hope I made it clear tonight where I think we're going. Where I think we're going if we don't do anything. We're going nowhere. When I say we're locked into that long drive to nowhere. If we don't do anything, that's where we're going to be. What I'm proposing is that we go somewhere. And that place is they live. That place is to wake up more people so that we can make an exit, so that we can get to Black progress. And if you're a white person, let's get to white progress. Let's get to progress, right? But right now, Black America is trapped in that vehicle. White America is not with Black America. Where we are is just not there as a group. Individually, there's some white people doing very bad. 40% of Americans can't afford a $400 emergency. Let me do the math on Black Americans. If I did if they had that study, and we could find out what the Black American numbers, I can already guess it's going to be around 70% of Black Americans. Because financially speaking, average Black American with a degree has less net wealth than a white American dropout of high school. So when we talk about wealth inequality, when we talk about reparations, it's the reason why, it's the reason why people don't know this stuff. Wrap your head around it. And I know it's crazy because if you're a Black American and you're doing well, you got a good job, you went to school, you might not have a degree, or maybe you do, maybe you don't, whatever, right? It's hard for you to fathom this, right? This stat. That stat's real. I didn't make up the stat. It's not bogus. So when we're talking way up here, in reality of where people actually are, it's a whole different situation, right? It's hard to wrap your head around that you're in the top 5% or the top 10%, right? But you are. And look how you're living. Are you on a yacht? Are you on a yacht? I'm just saying. Are you driving a Bentley? Or are you doing okay? And you're in the top 10%, and you're just doing okay. Think about that. So, look, the reality is something's got to change. We can't stay on the ride to nowhere. Black America, we can't stay there. Just because it's comfortable, they got bottled water, fine. If you want to get to progress, you got to get out that car, man. And us getting out the car is not enough. We have to help other people get out the car. That way the car won't be able to run. Because we're paying for the gas. My name is Tim Black. I want to thank y'all for tuning into the Tim Black Show tonight. I want to thank my Tim Black Wolf Pack. These are people that have been with me. I got people that have been with me from damn near day one. Shout out to Buck Bewley. Buck, hope you're doing better, man. Speedy recovery. I hope things work out quickly in your favor, brother. Shout out to my sister, Black Mamba, going through her own situations. Black Mamba, we love you. We wish you the best, and we hope that you can come back soon. To my sister, Ebony. My sister, look, thank you for what you do, and we respect and love you as well. Thank you for giving graciously to the show by giving us your time, your most valuable commodity. I do my best to make it worth yours. All right. Look, man, thank y'all for being here, man. If you're new to the show, we do this Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We don't always go this late, but sometimes I get on one. This show doesn't exist without you. So if you are a person that supports this show, thank you. If you can't support the show, you're still valuable, extremely valuable. Sharing the show with people, letting people know about it is just as important. So I want to thank you for doing that. That helps us grow, and that's important. That's all I got. Look, fam, I'm going to keep doing my job. Keep doing yours. Help share the content. Be here. Join us if you can. Our job is to stay courageous, stay bold, and stay dangerous. The truth is dangerous. We don't ride for parties, we ride for people. It's people over party. Policy over party. Now, everybody's got reasons for doing what they do. Here's my favorite part. I'm blessed. because my most important reasons for doing what I do are right here. Booyah.